talk about it last week?
I'd rather not.
Still upset about it, eh?
Upset? Upset? Numbskull had air in his tires. I would have let it out with a hatchet.
Is it true he tried to make it up to you with a martini after the race?
I'd rather drink whatever moonshine Cousin Ricky uses to fuel his cars.
Well, we're still kind of waiting on Cousin Ricky to send us some. But since you're salty about last week still, let me handle the intros for tonight's races.
Yeah, fine. Whatever.
Oof. All right. Well, here's your drivers and teams for group number 9. Rolling in first, it's Chowhound from Chowhound Racing. He's driving a Mercedes AMG GT weighing 56.58 grams called Mud Duck. Next up, it's Karmic Racing's Hades. He's driving a Lamborghini Sienna driving Hellhound that's a Best in Show nominee weighing 49.19 grams. And filling out this bracket, Reaching Cooler's Landlines is driving Anti-Porsche, a Porsche 911T that weighs 44 grams. Man, that Porsche has a unique paint job.
Legend has it, it's based off of a real-life car.
Well, let's see how she does. Off to the top for race 1. And it's Chowhound with First Blood. The anti-Porsche is, anti-race, as he immediately puts himself into the guardrail and up and over. Hades gets all squiggly in the back, and it's Chowhound with a really nice run down the left-hand side there, pulls across the line for a full 11 points. If we go back to the start, you can see what happens to Landlines and Hades as the gate drops and they come down the first whoop of the slope. This is going to be a tough race for those two if they can't get their steering wheels under control, but it does make for a good highlight.
I take it you're not worried about scratching up that paint of yours, because it already looks like it is.
It's a brilliant score for Chowhound. Let's see if Hades and Landlines have an answer. Wow, that was a masterful run by Landlines. He gets into Chowhound just enough to put him into the path of Hades, and that takes them both out just before the gap in the course. Landlines, on the other hand, runs perfectly down and pulls across for 11 points.
Okay, Chow, one word of advice. Settle it down. You got this, buddy.
Landlines is making it interesting, but Hades needs to step it up. And Chowhound just told Landlines he will not be pushed around. Landlines tries to get into the side of Chow, but Chow is like, no thank you. He pushes back and hammers down across the line for 11 points.
Hades, I don't know what happened, but pull this thing into the garage. I'm going to take a look at it.
Chowhound makes a statement with 26 points, but Hades, The big board really does tell a tale of two races. Chowhound with the surprising 26 points puts him at 6th place overall. Landlines, that 17 puts him in 17th. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get him into the next round. And Hades replaces Numbskull at the back of the line with his 9 points.
I just want to thank you, Chowhound, for not crashing into my car on your runs. I'm going to get it out of the way.
And as Indy Rain pulls her car out to make room for Hades, let's go to Group 10. First up in this group, again from Reaching Cooler Racing. Am I reading this right? It's Walter the Baby Mammoth driving Ice Age, an AC Shelby Cobra. He'll be going up against the legend himself, Arlo from Arlo Racing. This Best in Show nominee is called Apex, and it's an Acura NSX weighing 59.35 grams. And filling out this group is Ditos from Ditos Diecast. He's driving James May, a Bentley Continental GT weighing 59.16 grams. Somebody want to get a hold of Duke? Let him know there's an elephant racing in this one? Let's go up to the top for race 1. Well, this was definitely not the start that either one of these drivers had envisioned. Arlo and Didos battle it out on the left-hand side of the course, with Arlo rubbing Didos out into the guardrail. However, Arlo scrubs too much of the speed and he desperately tries to ollie his way over the gap, but unfortunately, he doesn't have enough of it in order to carry on down the rest of the course.
Walter, I don't know what you're using to steer your car, bud, but you might want to think about changing it out.
Not great scores for race 1. Let's see what they can do in race 2. The gate drops and Walter must have seen a peanut or something on his floorboard because he immediately turns into Didos, putting them both into the wall. Meanwhile, Arlo on the other side looks like he's going to have a good run, but gets a little air off that whoop and puts it in the guardrail, and that pegs him and turns him around. They all fumble going over the jump, and that is it for this race. Time's running out for this trio. They're going to need full pulls in this final race if they want any chance of making the second round. Then it looks like Walter is the agent of chaos again in this race. The gate drops, he gets into Didos, who gets into Arlo, and that just causes everybody to spin out. Rewinding this going back to the start, you can actually see as Walter takes out Didos, Didos gets in front of Arlo, and Arlo pushes Didos out, and actually Didos is the one that tags Walter. Walter might have been able to get away with that, make a break for the end of the course, but he unfortunately goes sideways and up and over and through the gap, and that effectively ends his run.
Jeez, you guys really know how to make a mess of the course. Randy, we gotta get these guys cleaned up. We got one more race to go tonight, so get Walter flipped over and Didos and Arlo out of the gutter.
And with the final scores up after race 3, these guys' chances of making the second round were just flushed down the drain. We go to the big board, and as we can see, 1 through 18 are not changed. Willie Make still on top with 33, and Rene Francais is holding on to that 18th spot. Arlo, he plugs into 20th position with his 15 points, and Walter and Didos, they're 27 and 28. You feel a little bit better now that your car's not down by Numbskull?
Yeah, I hated having it down underneath the yellow snow sign.
Want to introduce the next group?
It's the last group, so let's see who's racing in Group 11. He's driving a Barbie pink Lamborghini Countach from Uncle Elvis Racing. It's Uncle Elvis in Ken's Revenge. It's 59.21 grams of awesomeness. Now, it might not be Barbie colored, but Neckel Racing's Neckel is driving Scarlet, a Ford GT that weighs 52.89 grams. And closing out the night, we've got another female driver with Cinder Foley from the Spirit of 64. Her 1973 Corvette weighs 42.93 grams and is called Firewalk.
I guess since Elvis drove a pink Cadillac, it would only make sense that a family member would drive something like this.
I don't think they're related. Anyways, up to the top for race 1.
Oh, and it's another rough start for this group.
I don't think Elvis knows where his accelerator is.
Neckel and Cinder battle it out from the onset, and Neckel tries to drive Cinder up into the snowbank. He's so aggressive that he actually throws himself into the rocks after the jump.
Looks like he was a little too eager to play bumper cars.
He's got the speed, he just needs to make it down to the end of the course.
I hope you're not planning to make these guys work more overtime than they already are. Randy, you better not be sweet-talking the racers again. Cinder's got 2 more races to go before she can go out with you.
Let's hope these scores are not indicative of another race just like we had in group number 10. They all get a great launch as the gate drops and spread out as soon as they hit the whoop. Everybody's got plenty of space to make their way down the course, but it's Uncle Elvis who cuts hard and gets into the back of Cinder just before the jump. Neckel, on the other hand, gets a really nice run down that right-hand side, and he's got a clear run to the finish line.
I don't think Cinder's going to be happy with that one.
Yeah, Uncle Elvis definitely took exception to the fact that Cinder was just slightly ahead. Neckel brings it home, though.
Elvis, I'm gonna have to bring that car into my shop. What is it with these Lambos and their wonky steering?
Neckel puts up the points, but Elvis and Cinder need to buckle down if they want to make the second round. And Cinder Foley buries her foot in the floor and her nose in the snow in the finish line as she gets a great run from that middle lane. She's able to stretch that Corvette's legs and firewalk her way over the jump to a nice big score.
That might just have done it so that Cinder's in the second round.
And as Cinder gets out of her car and stretches her legs, I wonder if she's looking for Randy.
Oh my god, are we playing matchmaker now?
Better not be. Randy's got a job to do.
Well, if we are, the scores were up, and that 20 just might get Cinder into the next round.
Well, as it stands, we go to the big board and put these new scores up. Neckel's 21 puts him at 13. Cinder's actually puts her at 15. And unfortunately, Uncle Elvis plugs in at 31st.
I guess he should have learned how to drive Barbie's car before he brought it to the racetrack.
You know Uncle Elvis has the same score as you, right?
Well, is it a coincidence that Uncle Elvis and Numbskull are driving the same car?
Well, okay, you might have a point there.
All I'm saying is put me in a group without a Lambo, and I'm pretty sure I'd be in the top 18.
Well, the draws are the draws, and that's how it goes. You can't pick and choose who goes up against who. That's not how things work around here.
You know what? I changed my mind. I want Numbskull next time. Put me up against him any day of the week.
Well, you know, I can make that happen in a grudge match, but you're going to have to wait till the finals for that.
Make the call and tell him I'll take him up on that martini offer.
I'll let Ajax know. Are you done?
For now. This has been the Supersized Supercars from the Elevation Trail at Lake Ridge Heights. I've been one of your hosts, Cindy Rain. That's 905. If you like what we do, subscribe and comment to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
So you know how we had some people pull out of this tournament?
Yeah?
Well, I may have called in a rigger to come help us out.